Welcome back. In just 2 hours, the Senate Homeland Security Committee is set to vote on whether to hold Dr. Anthony Fauci in contempt of Congress after he repeatedly pled the fifth more than 100 times during last week's hearing.
The sole reason he is calling me before this committee is to get me to say something, anything, that could vindicate his repeated public pledges that I end up, in his words, quote, behind bars, unquote. I will invoke my right under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution to refrain from answering your questions.
But Kentucky Senator Rand Paul argues the courts may ultimately have to decide whether Fauci can refuse to testify after receiving a presidential pardon.
If they choose to pursue it, the judge will have a couple of choices. The judge could say, well, he's allowed to plead the fifth. Or the judge could say, well, he's been pardoned. Why would he need to plead the fifth? And of what value is testimony if he doesn't have to promise not to lie? I mean, why would you need the Fifth Amendment if all you have to do is come before a committee and not lie?
Here to discuss it is former Assistant U.S. Attorney Jim Trusty. Good morning, Jim. Thanks for joining us. So we expect in a few hours that Paul's committee will pass this contempt out, and it'll be sent on fast track to the DOJ. What do you anticipate happens?
Well, look, today's the easy part. You know, the contempt of Congress, I think, is, obviously, for whatever reason, it's a partisan line vote. I'm not sure why the Democrats rally behind this terrible human being. But, look, that's easy. What the senator was talking about in terms of what comes next is tough. A witness that wants to assert the Fifth Amendment has only to show a colorable claim. It doesn't mean they're absolutely going to be prosecuted, but that they face the possibility it's a legitimate bona fide use of the Fifth Amendment. And here, there's a couple of reasons why that's probably going to work. One is you've got the current administration talking about auto pen pardons like they're not valid. That's one concern. Biggest thing is just bad timing. 3 states have said they're looking into this guy and want to prosecute him, and a federal pardon doesn't protect you against state prosecution. So it's going to be uphill. I think the best argument, real quick, Griff, is waiver. When he comes out and makes an opening statement and talks about what a victim he is, that's a waiver of your Fifth Amendment privilege. I think that could get some traction. It's kind of unsettled area of law that goes back to Lois Lerner days when she came in and testified and gave a big stem winder kind of opening statement. So that's the best track to see if you can make it a criminal case.
That's a great point. And I remember the Lois Lerner days very well. It's a good analogy. This one obviously holds some unprecedented sort of legal questions that a judge will ultimately decide. Let me ask you, though, Jim, about, for instance, Senator Joni Ernst has been talking about whether or not Fauci did things that would involve criminality, even including telling staff to delete messages. Listen here.
He would say, delete this voicemail. If he would send a message, he would say, delete this message from your in-mail box and then delete it from your deleted folder. So he was very specific about how to get rid of any messages, about how to get rid of any evidence of collaboration and communication when it came to COVID-19.
And on top of that, we now learned that reportedly the investigation has Fauci's phone. Do you see this going anywhere?
Possibility. The idea of what they call preemptive obstruction, when you're kind of anticipating that federal authorities want to look at, or any sort of law enforcement wants to look at your information, you're getting rid of it. It gives you a chance. It's a lot stronger if he's under the gun, if he's been indicted, or if his lawyers have told him you're about to be indicted and he starts getting rid of stuff. That's the stronger case. But, you might be able to cobble something together based on his diary entries and his telephone.
Very quickly, I want to get to this, Jim, because the Pittsburgh Steelers' new quarterback, veteran Aaron Rodgers, is weighing into the Fauci scandal. Watch.
I'm going to plead the fifth.
Okay. Okay.
Gotta
love that guy.
Okay. Like that absolute coward. What are you scared of, Tony?
Yeah.
I thought you were the science.
Yeah.
I thought you were I am science, and you get up there and you can't answer a question.
Taking shots. Fauci's lawyer, David Schertler, by the way, responded saying Aaron Rodgers doesn't know what he's talking about. He should stick to football. Your final thought?
Well, first of all, I've suddenly fallen deeply in love with Aaron Rodgers. I like every comment he made. There's room for moral blame here no matter what. Fauci's earned that. And look, I also like the attorneys that represent Fauci. They're great guys. Dave Shurtler, Danny Onorato are really good lawyers. They should, I'll make a deal. We'll get rid of Aaron talking about things if they get rid of every other entertainer, actor, and musician that comments from the left.
Oh, that would be a long list. Jim Trusty, thank you for joining us. We'll see what happens. We'll be covering that vote for contempt of Congress in a few hours from now. Thanks, Jim.
All right, thank you.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.